Fandoms here, we share the love. Every topic you're dreaming of. Join the chat, let's fan away. This is Fandoms, come and stay.
You're listening to Fandoms. I'm your host, Brody Otway. Join me as I interview a guest about anything from Ashley Simpson to Homer Simpson. Today on the show, we'll be talking to SilenceAve about TV. Pretty broad topic. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So, do you remember when you first really sunk into TV? Did your parents just plop you down in front of Barney and it was all over from there? Or how did it all begin?
No, actually, I remember when I was a very, very young kid, and my uncle in specific, he's a big nerd guy like me, so he introduced me to all of these kind of more adult TV shows, and I was never allowed to fully watch them. I would only see clips here and there, and shows like The Sopranos, stuff like that, that really got me intrigued in the genre, because growing up, I always thought TV was like the B tier to movies. But as I've gotten older, I've realized it's so much more expansive in the storytelling, and you can do so many more things.
How old were you when he was showing you The Sopranos?
8, 9,
Oh, that's pretty young.
like stuff like that. Like my mom was watching Sons of Anarchy, Breaking Bad,
Nice.
and I was just like bikers, drug dealers. Like for me as a kid, I was only allowed I had a Nintendo, so I was playing kids games and stuff, but these were it was a so much more broader world in media and in entertainment that I just wasn't able to fully get onto yet. So it made me want to it made me yearn for seeing all of these great acclaimed television series and movies.
That's so funny. At 8, you're sitting there watching Sons of Anarchy and shit, and I thought I was getting it good, getting to sneak over to my neighbors and watch The Simpsons and shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, different times. So, what do you think would be your all-time favorite TV show?
Breaking Bad, for sure. I
Breaking
love
Bad.
Breaking Bad.
I actually haven't watched any of Breaking Bad other than the first episode.
Mhm.
I don't know why. I enjoyed it. I've heard it's great. I have no idea why I haven't watched it.
It's one of those shows that I don't push people to watch, because obviously it can get pretty heavy at certain points. But one thing I will say is it's one of the very few shows that I've seen in my lifetime where it just improves every single season. It just gets better and gets better. And I'm not going to spoil it for you, because I think you should watch it, but it just hits the peak right at the end, and you're left completely satisfied. Unlike other shows where it might be a cliffhanger or or ambiguous ending, with this one it leaves you with closure for every single character that you care about. And if you're not left with that closure, there are a spin-off TV show and another movie that you can use to complete the entire universe.
Yeah, weirdly enough, I have seen parts of the movie because it was on at one of my workplaces once, so I couldn't avoid seeing chunks of it. And I was pretty lost, and I was just stop paying attention because you're gonna get to it eventually. I keep telling myself that, but still haven't. For me, part of it was every time I see Bryan Cranston, I think of him as Malcolm's dad from Malcolm in the Middle. So it's so hard to take him seriously for me. That was one of my favorite shows growing up. So I just see Hal from Malcolm in the Middle every time.
And I think that's kind of a lot of the point of the earlier seasons, is even though if you might see him as Hal from Malcolm in the Middle, at the beginning of Breaking Bad, he really is a mild-mannered high school chemistry
He
teacher.
beat the shit out of a kid in the first episode, didn't he? Am I remembering that wrong? He doesn't he do something to a kid for picking on his son?
That does happen.
Yeah,
but
still
I'm
got
talking
the dark side.
But at the very beginning of the episode, you see him, working at a car wash while also being a teacher. When his brother-in-law, Hank, hands him a pistol, he doesn't know what to do with it. He's just holding it kind of floppily in his hand. And then he kind of gets stuck into this world when he realizes that he has inoperable lung cancer. And it just it goes pretty quickly. Like it does have a cold open where you see him driving around pretty much naked in an RV, but I'm
Yep.
talking about post credit, like post opening credit scene, when you see the evolution of how he, you know, for lack of a better term, breaks bad with his student that he had in his class previously. It's really interesting to see how the deconstruction of a normal person into a mindless monster.
Oh, definitely. Like having watched that first episode, I can see why it took off. Like it's a solid pilot. Like not many pilots are that good. A lot of
Hmm.
them, like a lot of shows, especially back in the day, they needed time to get going. And like it's very rare that you have something like like I said, I have no idea why I haven't watched the rest of it. I think it was just I found it at the wrong time where I had so much other shows to watch and like my girlfriend at the time had no interest in it, so it was just something that kind of fell to the wayside that's been on my like to watch list that I don't know why I keep putting it off. This might maybe this will motivate me to finally crack down and watch it. If I do, I will let you know.
Absolutely. It's one of like if I could go back and relive any piece of television, it would be that one. If I could just wipe the slate clean and you have to give credit where credit is due to shows like The Sopranos and that kind of bad guy protagonist type of thing that wasn't as popular before. And without The Sopranos, we wouldn't have Breaking Bad and without like shows like that. So if you like The Sopranos, if you've seen The Sopranos, I think you'll really enjoy getting through Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I did enjoy The Sopranos. I haven't seen the whole thing. I had to watch a bunch of it. My teacher made us study it for acting classes and stuff, along with other things she really liked. And so I got introduced through it through there, and I at the time the streaming wasn't a big thing. I'm like 31 now, so yeah, it was kind of a little bit different time and tracking down DVD sets. Like I had all of like Supernatural and Dexter and
Love those shows.
Reaper. I had like every box set, and then like I have no idea where they are now. I wish I did. They're probably somewhere in my mom's basement. But I was all about the DVD box sets, and like I was, all my friends would show up and be like, "Okay, I need a new show," and I was basically the movie store for these guys.
Funnily enough, over the past few years, even though I kind of grew up, I was kind of at the beginning of streaming. When streaming really started to take off, I was growing up, so I did have a lot of movies and DVDs and box sets. But over the last few years, when I was able to, have my disposable income ready where I could spend a decent amount of money on stuff like this, I picked up Better Call Saul DVD set, Dexter DVD set, all of the shows that I loved, and it's just kind of become a thing for me now of collecting physical media. So it's funny how those two worlds kind of come back to each other.
Oh, are they the goofy Dexter cases with like Michael C. Hall's face with different blood spatters?
I wish it's the
Oh,
Dexter the complete series plus Dexter New Blood.
okay, yeah, I had them displayed on my wall in high school. The ones I had, I think it was the first 4 seasons at the time, but they were all different Michael C. Hall faces with different blood spatter patterns on his face, and he was like doing a silly grin.
Yeah, absolutely. I've actually been trying to track down one specific box set in good condition because I've seen a few of them, but they're all in pretty bad condition. It's the ones where the box set is actually the blood slide box with all the DVDs in it.
I didn't know they did that.
They have them. They're like they're a couple $100s now, but they're out there somewhere, and I'm trying to find a good quality one.
Oh, that's so cool. I hope I can afford it because Dexter was one of my like first like really obsessed shows. Dexter and Supernatural, I think, were my real first big. I had to sit down every week and watch it.
Dexter is actually the show that got me kind of like a bit of attention on YouTube. Like if you check my YouTube channel, there's actually a lot of Dexter content on there. I love that show. It's something I
That's how
discovered
I
in the
found
past
you.
year. Yep, exactly. I love that show. It was recommended to me by someone a few years older than me who said, you like all these other crime shows. And what's funny? I looked it up on Google and I saw those goofy faces and I'm like, I don't want to sit through another comedy with a serial killer. And then I started watching. I'm like, this is this is not a comedy.
Yeah, I don't know how accurate this is, but I was always hooked from that first. I think it's he says There's no better driving food than a pulled pork sandwich.
That I think that's one of them.
Yeah, the reason that's a line from the book, and Jeff Lindsay wrote it because apparently somebody said that to him one time, and his first thought was like, "That is the most psychopathic thing I've ever heard." Like what? Like that? Like what? And so that's why he put it in the books or something. And yeah, so I always just like I that's my favorite little Dexter fun fact. I had to drop it in somewhere.
Like I've been reading the books. I'm actually on book 7 of 8 right now. I'm about to finish the book series myself. And while I think that the books are really good, I think Showtime and the whole cast, Michael C. Hall, Jennifer Carpenter, and all them, I think they really elevated the IP.
They
I think
did.
that the Dexter show is, in my opinion, quite a bit better than the books, and that's why I've really been enjoying Resurrection.
I haven't checked it out yet.
No spoilers.
Okay, thank you. I actually didn't even realize it had started running.
There's 3
I'm
episodes out.
Yeah, no, I am behind on that. Then I'm kind of out of the loop. I've been moving, so I've just been like completely out. I need to catch up on The Boys still, Invincible, a few things. Oh, I don't know. I'm behind.
I think The Boys and Invincible are great TV shows. I think
Yes.
me personally, I would put Invincible a couple notches higher, but I think that both of them are very good.
Yes, they're great in their own ways. Like The Boys is one of the few shows where in a matter of seconds I went from laughing to like jaw dropped to like actually being like moved emotionally in a way, like feeling bad and shit. I was like, "Oh my god, like this show is perfected tonal whiplash in a way where I'm not like I want more."
The Boys, to me, because I've always been a huge comic book fan, like ever since I was a little kid.
Me too.
So for me, growing up with obviously characters like I'm a Batman guy. I read all of it. I have all of the classics in my library right next to me.
My favorite DC character has to be Nightwing.
Nightwing is great. He's probably my second or my third.
I'm looking at my hardcover Nightwing volume that I need to finish reading because I bought it when I had a lot of free time. I think I was in driving school, and I was just like, "Okay, well, I've got like lunch breaks, and the comic book store was right down the road, so I was like, hey, going to go get a new comic book, and I haven't been in there since I had kids." And then I just seen Nightwing. I was like, "Oh hell yeah, I haven't read this in years." And that and Spider-Man were my big two.
Yeah, like for me, I've always been a bit more of a DC guy. I do love Marvel. I think a lot of the Marvel characters are really good. My knowledge on the actual like deep-rooted comic stuff is way more limited with Marvel than it is with DC.
I definitely think DC has the stronger comic books.
I agree. There's also just I like the art style far more in DC that a lot of the more like the artists use. For me, when it comes to all of the comics, like I said, I'm a Batman guy. If you love Batman, read The Long Halloween.
Oh, so good.
It's, in my opinion, the greatest Batman story written. It has everything that you actually need from a Batman comic book. It has detective work. It has villains. It has, just read it. I'm not going to spoil anything. Just read it.
It is great. I love it a lot. I've probably read it at least 5 times. But anyway, back to TV again. What's a show you think had really positive reception widely, but you really didn't care for yourself?
This one might get me because everyone loves this show. I never got it. I don't like The Wire. I don't get it.
Me neither.
The Wire was never the one for me.
It felt so repetitive to me.
I couldn't get that far. Oh, also Game of Thrones. That's more of a personal one. It's really confusing to me.
Yeah, I can see that. I read the book first, and then I completely I didn't realize Game of Thrones was going to be a big thing. And then my brother was watching it, and it was already into the end of the second season, and I was trying to get into it with him, and I watched it with other people here and there, but I didn't follow it hugely. I've followed the books, but the show I was in and out of.
As a book fan, you must be very frustrated with how that's been going for the past 10, 15 years.
I wouldn't really say I'm a huge fan. I enjoyed them enough, and went in knowing they're probably never going to finish. So I more or less read them because I didn't know, or I listened to the audiobooks other than the first one. And so I was kind of just, it was just like, I need something at the gym. I don't know what to do. It recommended me Game of Thrones. I've already read it. I'll start at the second book and go on. And then when I hit the end, I was like, well, I mean, sucks that I probably never going to find out where this is supposed to go. But I mean, it's not the Cosmere, so I'm not that as invested.
Yeah.
How do you feel about like a lot of the modern reboots and stuff? Like I know like you're saying you said Dexter Resurrection it was really good. Do you think
Hmm.
that a lot of the other ones are same quality, or do you think it's a lot of nostalgia baiting?
I think that in just TV in general is at a really low point right now, where you have so many of these like original shows which don't even for me work as well as they should, but reboots in specific, I don't really like it. I'm not a big prequel guy, spin-off guy, sequel guy. I think if something's good, you should leave it that way.
Yeah.
However, Dexter ended so terribly, it doesn't hurt as bad.
Right? And like I feel like if you have a good idea for a sequel and it's natural, fine. But like if you're doing it just to make more, that's where it tends to go wrong. And I
Like
mean,
Joker 2.
yeah. Yeah. Oh god, yeah.
Joker was great on its own. You did not need a sequel.
No, and like I didn't watch the second one. I just
I
had
tried.
a gut feeling that it wasn't going to be for me. And from what I heard, I was right. Maybe I'll watch it someday, but I just really like as soon as I seen a trailer, I was just like something in my guts telling me that this was not made for me. I was like, that other movie was great. I was like, I'm gonna leave it at that. I was like, I'm gonna let the first one just be the first one and pretend this one doesn't really exist for now.
It's very artsy, but it doesn't work.
And that's exactly what I heard.
It tries very hard to be its new owned thing, but the thing that worked so well with the original was that you didn't know what was actually happening.
Right?
The entire movie you expect that he's in this relationship with this neighbor, and when it finally shows that no, he has just been imagining this, and then he ends up taking her life, it's a huge moment where you're like, holy shit, what is he actually doing, what's he not doing? In the second movie they explicitly tell you he killed 6 people, which means that the kills that you saw actually happened, which doesn't work for me.
Yeah, that's exactly what I heard, and that's why I stayed away. Was specifically that it told you what was and wasn't confirmed, and I was like, I don't need that. I never needed that. The movie was you're destroying the entire point of that first movie and what made it artsy and not just a good film.
There's a reason why the Sopranos ending is still talked about 30 years later.
Right? Just cut to black. Like it was jarring. Like we studied that in film class. Like it was that big and it wasn't even that old yet. Like it was the minute it happened, it was being talked about.
My uncle was he watched it live, and I remember him telling me that when he ended up talking to some of his friends or whoever the next day, he was like, did your TV box go off? Like, what happened? Like,
That's what all my parents were talking about too. They were all just like, yeah, like something happened. And then like it was literally like I had to tell my mom as an adult. I was like, did you know that was actually like the ending? She's like, no, it wasn't. I was like, yeah. She's like, really? And I was like, yeah, that's the actual ending of the show. And she's just like, why? I was like, artistic decision.
you either love it or you hate it. It's one of those
Right?
kind of endings.
And then there's like so many people theorizing, and they're just like, it cuts to black because he got shot and he's dead.
But that's what it's about. Whether there's always been the theory that you came into this story when he was already, at this point in the mafia. He's already in his late 30s, early 40s. You come to this point in the story, and then it ends at another point in the story. You get to see this very small slice of life type of thing of what happened during this specific period. Whether after that he gets shot, whether he just goes about his life or whatever happens, this is what you got to see. And it was a great 6 seasons of television. I think there were certain moments where it was stronger than others. There were certain parts in the early seasons where, if I'm not mistaken, the actor who plays Vito is actually just a random shopper in the deli at the very beginning, and then they bring him back later. There are certain choices they made that some people may or may not agree with. I think that the ending is it's a very artistic ending. I'm kind of I'm kind of indifferent about it. Even though I did say it's a love it or hate it, I'm kind of like I need more time to really think about the ending.
Yeah, I think when I first watched it, I was like, this is dumb. And the more time I've had to think about it, I'm like, no, it's kind of interesting, especially because of how much conversation it's been able to spark, and like the fact that people have made theories and stuff on just it cutting to black. Like it's such a simple decision that has led to so much speculation and conversation, and it's like we still don't know, like nobody's ever said why they decided to do it. They just did it.
hmm I think even David Chase, like he's made some offhanded remarks of like, "Oh no, he did get shot or he didn't get shot."
Oh,
I think that when it comes to the actual ending, I think that's some people even said, "I don't even know if he knows."
yeah, I it's one of those things where it's like maybe he just didn't know how to end it, so they just like were like, "All right, cut to black."
And some people love it. Like Michael Imperioli, who plays Christopher on the show, he was talking to Joe Rogan, I think, on a podcast, or no, it might have been the actor who played Bobby, talking about Michael Imperioli, and said that when he was talking about the ending, they all watched it together. The actor who played Tony, James Gandolfini, he said that's how they ended it and walked away. Michael Imperioli loved it. Some people hated it. So the entire cast doesn't even know what's totally happening all the time.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, it really is crazy, like, when you are filming something, you think you're making one thing, and it gets edited, and, like, you see something totally different sometimes. Like, I've only done, like, basic, like, student film stuff, but even then, like, some of the things people would do, it's like, wow, sometimes you'd be like, "Wow, you are really creative." Other times you'd be like, "Hmm, you really chopped that up and butchered it, huh, buddy?"
The Dexter ending twice.
Yup, yup. Oh yeah, no, one of the guys I did grow up acting with and stuff, who still lives in town with me here, he loved the end of Dexter. And he's the only person I've ever met who did. He's like, man, I thought you were like when he brought Deb out and blah blah blah. I was like, dude, no. I was like, I was like, why do you do you, but I hated it. Like I was like, everything felt so awkward in those last few episodes. Like she she makes it, and then she suddenly has like a brain blood clot, right?
hmm
Yeah, like that felt so, like, I don't know, it felt too real life. Like it was like, okay, this is television. Like you gave us false hope just to take it away, and like it didn't even feel like it was symbolic of anything. Like Dexter either should have been more to blame, or it should have just happened how it happened, like originally should have happened.
I think a big problem with the final season actually started a lot earlier. Like a lot of people point to those last like few episodes as being really rough, but I think the entire season was set up for failure when you brought in Dr. Vogel as a
Yep.
character and you add in these extra steps to how Harry made the code. And I'm like, what are we actually doing here? Like why are we adding in extra things when the whole purpose of the code was that Harry is a dysfunctional father. He did not know how to handle this kid who's clearly extremely troubled. And in a sort of way, he pushed him to do these horrible things rather than getting him help. Bringing in an outside psychiatrist kind of person, it kind of defeats how organic it felt initially. And you have Deb dies, Dexter decides he's done killing actually, and then he comes back, kills Oliver anyway, and then goes to Alaska and grows a beard. Like it to me, I think the show would have been a lot better had it ended a little bit differently. But I'm no TV writer. I couldn't exactly tell you how it should have ended. I'm just saying, from an outsider looking in, it shouldn't have been like that.
Yeah, and honestly, like for me, when I was watching Dexter the whole time, every new season, I was like, is this going to be the year he gets caught? And the
hmm
fact that they were going to end the show without anything like that, like, I just felt like especially with him killing, like, leading to Deb getting killed, there needed to be some kind of punishment for him other than him just not having his son.
Exactly. I've seen a lot of people, even people in my comments, and while I do appreciate the sentiment that some people say where it's like, I don't really want him to get caught. The whole story is about he takes out bad guys. But I always reply to those comments with, I understand your point. We all love seeing Dexter take on bad guys. But what we have to understand is he is a bad guy. He is essentially the true antagonist of the story. He kills all these other people. He got his, indirectly, of course, he got his wife murdered.
Yep.
He got his, he framed Dokes. He ended up getting murdered. His sister was murdered essentially because of him. The one time he tried to do something right, she dies.
LaGuerta.
Yeah, LaGuerta, he was gonna kill her, and then Deb ended up killing her, and he couldn't rationalize in his head why Deb doesn't want to talk to him anymore.
Right. And honestly, like, that was a hype scene when Deb shot her. Like, that was like that.
Great
I
acting
was,
from Jennifer Carpenter.
oh, so great.
Great
And I
acting.
was just like, I was honestly burning out on Dexter. And like, if that scene didn't hook me, I don't know if I would have been there for the premiere of the next season. Don't know if I was happy with the premiere, because I remember I sat out a few episodes till I had some to binge watch. But yeah, I was with you right there with the whole Vogel thing. The minute she was introduced, I was like, really? You're just taking away from the Harry stuff. You're retconning everything in a way that isn't fun. It's midichlorians for Dexter.
Yep. And I think that a lot of the problems started in season 6. I know a lot of people point to season 5 being the beginning of the end, but I think that one of the only big problems I had with season 5 was how quickly they made Dexter and Lumen fall in love,
Yes,
or whatever it was.
agreed.
Rita was his like love interest for 4 straight seasons. I think you could have waited at least another season,
especially with how long it took him to get close to her.
Yeah, like, and if you remember season 5, episode 1, he kills a guy just for disrespecting her,
Yep.
and he's balled up on a bed, just like in fetal position, just because he's sad about the loss of his wife.
Yeah, he's feeling, and he's not used to it. He's like, what the hell? Like, no, it's new to him, and he doesn't know how to cope with it, and it's great.
And 7 episodes later, you have him jumping into bed with this new woman. It's just, it doesn't make much sense to me. But I did like Lumen as a character, and I liked what it represented. That it's one of the, if I'm not mistaken, the only actual person still alive who knows who Dexter is. Because everyone else has died. Everyone else has either died, he killed them, or anything like that. And then you move on to season 6 with the Doomsday Killer, and I felt like that season was so hammy.
Oh, it was. And I don't know, the villain was whose son again?
Oh yeah,
it was a total nepotism hire, wasn't it? Was it Tom Hanks's son?
Maybe, I'm not actually sure.
I don't know. Don't fact check us, people. We're going off memory here.
But all I know is that I did not enjoy the character.
No,
the twist was like, okay, like, yeah. You figured it out a few episodes earlier,
right? Yeah, I was waiting for another twist of like, okay, what's like, they got to be misleading us or something. And when it was just that, I was like, huh.
Oh, also, the biggest crime of that season, forget the Doomsday Killer, forget all of that, forget literally anything. The Deb in love with Dexter plotline, what are we doing?
Oh my God. I was literally like, part of me was like, I could kind of see that from like somebody reading into that from like acting choices in recent things, but like, I don't think it was ever intentional. And I think whatever writer wrote that in was misreading real life chemistry, because they used to be married in real life, right? Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, the funniest part is when they started to introduce that storyline, they were divorced.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm like, seeing them kiss even on screen, because I think there was a scene where Deb envisioned them kissing. Even just seeing that on screen, I'm like, ugh, like, what are we doing?
Yeah, like, it was very, I don't know, it was ick.
Although the ending of that season was really good, with Deb finally finding out.
Yes. it's so wild how how different she is in the books, how she finds out, and
Hmm.
she basically uses him as a like tool.
Yeah, she becomes extremely just like, can you help me find this, find this, find this, kill this guy.
Yeah, it's
And it
so
kind of
wild.
evolves over the course of the books. And if I'm not mistaken, in the book, she's also like, she looks different. She's blonde. Julie Benz, who plays Rita, actually auditioned for the role of Deb.
I couldn't imagine that.
Yeah, she seems like such a nice. That was one of the very few deaths in Dexter where I'm like, oh man, like,
There was such a gut punch. Like when I watched that live on TV with my friend Shaylin, we were both just looking at each other like, "What the fuck?"
out of all the characters, she did not deserve that.
No, that poor woman had been through so much, and
Like,
those
you strike out the
kids.
first time with an abusive husband on drugs and everything, and then you think you finally found the nice guy, and he's the Bay Harbor butcher.
So true. That woman is
She
cursed.
should have just been with Elliot, honestly.
Oh
Like,
my god, yeah, I forgot about that. I always forget she cheated on him a little bit. Eh?
sure, he kissed her, but I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what? Honestly, cheating versus serial killing, it's like she should have just been with Elliot.
Yeah, would have probably ended better.
Yeah. Who knows though? Maybe Arthur Mitchell, like, maybe if he just killed him earlier in the seasons, he had so many opportunities.
Yeah.
Or if he had killed him, or if he just left him alone. Arthur Mitchell literally told him, "Leave me alone, and I'm not going to bother you." But he
Yeah.
just couldn't, because Dexter, out of all the serial killers in media, you have characters like Hannibal Lecter who are extremely intelligent. You have characters like Joe Goldberg who are extremely obsessive. Dexter's, or even Brian Moser, Dexter's brother, the ice truck killer, where his is just violence and he just loves to be violent. With Dexter, it was always a addiction. He had an addiction to killing and an addiction to the thrill that it gave him. He couldn't do it or let someone else have it if he could have it, and he had to have it his way.
Yeah, I never thought about it like that. That's so interesting. So with other TV shows there, what do you think's one that you think was kind of underrated that didn't get the hype it deserved and you kind of wish it had been more successful?
Peaky Blinders.
Peaky Blinders. Oh, my friend Tevin was the one who got me to watch that.
Peaky Blinders. It was huge, if I'm not mistaken, in the UK, but bringing it over to, America or Canada, it didn't have the same cultural impact. Like, especially, like, you see a lot of, like, I guess, posts with promoting the movie, because they have a movie coming out, if I'm not mistaken, at the end of the year.
I didn't know that.
But it's to finally wrap up the storyline. And
Well, that's awesome. I'm excited.
it's made by Netflix, actually.
Deadly. Oh,
Peaky Blinders was a show that it was on BBC Two. It wasn't even on the main BBC channel, and it, I think, got moved over there as the seasons progressed. If it was almost canceled at a certain point, and it has such a rich storytelling. And I think the only weak part of the show is, unfortunately, season 6, the last season. Although I do think that it's better than a lot of other things on.
yeah, it was a really quality show. Like I laughed when my friend told me to watch Peaky Blinders. I was like, "What kind of title is that?" And then he's like, "Well, it's from the UK." And I was like, "Okay, well,
Yeah.
okay, that checks out." I was like, "What's it about?" And he told me, he's like, "Well, it's about gang shit." And I was like, "Okay." I was like, "You know what? Yeah, I'll check it out. I'll let you know." And I was just like, "Okay, yeah, no, I'm all in now." And we ended up watching the whole thing together. And yeah, no,
Hmm.
it was a really good show. I was pleasantly surprised. Anytime I've recommended it to somebody, though, they've given me the same reaction. They've been like, "Watch what?" So I think the name might have maybe been something keeping it in the, like, it doesn't sound like it's going to be serious.
Yeah. I think, like, but especially with the success of the Oppenheimer movie with Cillian Murphy in it, winning the Oscar, having the biggest stage of his life, there were a lot of people going back into his catalog and seeing, Peaky Blinders. And it probably got a lot of traction from that.
Yeah, yeah, I never thought about it like that. I actually didn't watch Oppenheimer. I watched Barbie, but I didn't do the double feature.
I never finished either of them actually.
I watched Barbie with my kid, and so I had to sit through the whole thing.
It's a very, I don't know, Cillian Murphy does so good in that role, and you have so many moving parts and so many like plot lines that take so long to unravel. I think another thing really holding it back from the last season was the unfortunate passing of Helen McRory, who played Aunt Polly.
Mhm.
She was such a driving force on the show and really Tommy's second in command when it came to most decisions.
Yeah,
And her loss was definitely felt. Um, Also, not really using Michael as much as they should have. I think Michael should
agreed.
have been like the whole last season. He spent a lot of it in prison, and it's a the seasons are 6 episodes long, so it's like you really have to kind of use the characters in an efficient way. But even with the COVID and everything stopping people from having too many people on set, there were a lot of things that drag, I don't know the correct way to say that, but brought the last season down a little bit comparatively to what it could have been otherwise.
Yeah, I agree. Sometimes nowadays I do miss the 21 episode seasons. Like you always got filler episodes and stuff, but like it was also nice having the extra content because like when you love the characters, it's not
Hmm.
always about moving the story forward. Sometimes you get nice character moments. Like one of my favorite episodes of Supernatural is I believe it's called Heart, the one with early on with Sam and he falls in love with the werewolf.
Oh, after this, I have a funny story about Supernatural for you.
Funny story. We used to, me and my buddy who really likes Supernatural, a lot of the girls we got into Supernatural, we would show that episode. And then at the end, they'd be like, oh, and it was like one of those things where we were like, yeah, we'll show these girls it. And then they'll be all like, they'll think we're sensitive. And yeah, no, it worked. It was funny, but like looking back, it's like, man, teenagers.
Yeah, like I remember watching Supernatural. I've watched up till season 13. I have not watched the last 2 seasons
I gave up on season 13 as well. Actually, my friend tried to force me to go through the rest of it, and I gave up.
because it's just like we went from a new monster, new like kind of cool monster for the first like 5 6 seasons, and by the end of it, we're fighting God, like,
Yeah.
and the entire final seasons are all about angels and all about. I'm like, what happened to all the fun monsters we used to deal with back in the original seasons? And
Yep.
I'm actually. My sister is finally getting old enough to start watching shows like this, so I introduced her to Supernatural. So we're actually watching that together now.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I got my dad hooked on it back in the day. Funny story. I rented two of the DVDs with him from the movie store, and we
Hmm.
got home and we watched them. And my dad looks at me at the end. He's like, "Okay, put the next one in." It's like 2 in the morning, and I'm like, "There's no next one. That's all the ones we have." And he looks at me, and our Walmart was 24 hours at the time, and he goes, Walmart's 24 hours, isn't it? I'm like, I think so. And he's like, come on, get your shit on. I thought he was kidding. And then he's like halfway out the door and he's like, come on. And I was like, you're serious? He's like, yeah, we're going to go buy all the seasons that are out. How many seasons are out right now? I'm like, the first 4. He's like, okay, let's go. And we grabbed the first 4 seasons on box sets, went back and we watched until he passed out. And he was, yeah, no, that became our show for the longest time.
The first 5 seasons are so good. That's when I think Eric Kripke ended up leaving as the showrunner, and that's when shit got weird.
Yeah, it was his vision was those first 5 seasons, and he left actually to start. I believe it was because he was like, my vision is done. He's like, I'm going to start working on the concepts for my new project, which was The Boys.
Yeah. And now Misha, Jensen, and Jared are all back on The Boys now. So season 5, we have all the Supernatural guys back.
I didn't know that Jared and Misha were in it. That's
Mhm.
news to me.
Yep.
Oh, I'm hyped.
Yep. Jensen's great in it. They're making a spin-off show with, his character. I'm not
That's
going to say who the character is in case you don't know yet.
I
But
do. Yeah,
okay,
I've watched that.
they're making
far.
a Soldier Boy spin-off show, and they're going to have, Misha and Jared are both back. And the way that they promoted it actually was Jared posted like, "Hey Misha, we're coming," and you see the supernatural car in the background with the trunk open, and it has the pentagram with the salt and everything, and it was like the boys are back, and they're in the
That's cool.
they're in the boys now, season 5.
That's cool. That's a nice little promo that I'm gonna have to go look that up.
Mhm.
So, what's one show that got canceled that if you could bring it back for one season to wrap it up, you'd bring it back?
Another season to wrap it up. Selfishly, I'm gonna say The Office because the last season sucked.
Yeah. That like when I first watched through The Office, somebody told me Michael comes back in the last episode.
Mhm.
So when it was just that short little bit, like I was happy to see him, but it
Yeah.
also felt like not enough.
But we are getting The Office spinoff called The Paper this September.
What?
Yep, and we have one confirmed member of the cast coming back, Oscar.
Wild. That's
And
awesome.
I forget his name now. John Krasinski.
Oh,
He said that they haven't asked him to come back yet, but he didn't say no. So
okay. So Jim seems on board. He's always been pretty chill though. He seems down for
Steve
whatever.
Carell said no.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
He
That
said like,
sucks.
my way in that world is done. They're going to do their thing now.
That's a little sad, but
And I don't think Rainn Wilson will come back either, because Rainn Wilson I don't think likes being reminded that he played Dwight very much. So
no, it doesn't seem like, unless he's like talking to Jenna Fisher and
Yeah.
and them, like, yeah, he doesn't seem like he really cares to relive it.
Yep, the Paper this September. So all the Office fans who are listening to this,
I'll check it out. The Office is one of my all-time
Mm-hmm.
favorites. If I had to bring back a show for one more season, you might not be familiar with it. It was actually supposed to be what replaced Supernatural on the CW when it was originally going to
the
end.
Winchesters.
No, when it was originally supposed to end with season 5.
Ooh.
And they had brought it on 2 seasons before to build a fan base, and it was supposed to be their new because they wanted to have a replacement of a show that has magic and devil related stuff, and it
Mhm.
was called Reaper.
No, never heard of it.
Oh, the pilot is directed by Kevin Smith, and the devil is played by Ray Wise, if you're familiar with the actor.
Not too familiar, but I feel like.
Have you watched How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah.
Robin's father?
Oh, really?
Yes, he plays the devil. He's the best devil I've ever seen in anything.
Also, another terrible ending to a show. How I Met Your Mother.
Right? Oh my God. I was pissed. So I was such a big How I Met Your Mother fan, even during those last few seasons where I felt it just went down hard. Like I felt it just dropped after season 5.
It was so weird because I feel like but by the end of it, you realize that none of them are that great people. Like they all
Yep.
kind of suck.
Yep.
Especially Ted. He really sucks.
Yep. I didn't want Ted to be happy by the end of that show.
And like then you find out the mom died, and now
Right.
all the progress, and now he's going back to Robin.
Right. Oh, and I figured out the twist at the end of the second last season with the whole, like when a lot of other people did during that big corny scene. And I was just like, God damn it. And that whole last season was just me waiting to be proven right. And then when it happened, I was like, okay. And then when he went back to Robin, I was like, what? And just that line, this isn't the story of how you met mom. It's the story of how you're still in love with Aunt Robin. I'm like, what? How did you get that from this story? It was 90% of it was him getting over her.
Yeah. But the actress who played the mother, Christian Milioti, great actress.
Oh, great. I'm so glad she has a career now.
Great in Penguin, one of the standouts of that show. And nominated for an Emmy for Best Lead Actress, actually, this year. So hopefully she wins something there, because How I Met Your Mother is not where I want her career to end.
Yeah, me neither. She deserves better. So how exactly did you get into making YouTube content on TV shows? What inspired you to do it?
Initially, I've had this idea for a very long time, and on my channel, I've spoken about it once. It's a project I've had in the works for probably closing in on 10, 11 months now. And it is, I am going to make a video about Breaking Bad. I've only made one Breaking Bad video on my channel, but I've never spoken truly about the show. because it's for this video. It's going to be a huge video. I'm going to be ranking every single Breaking Bad episode, and
Oh,
and I'm going to go in depth about all of it. It's going to be a huge, probably plus hour long video. And that's where I wanted to do it. I wanted to start with that. But I felt like when I first started my YouTube channel, I'm like, I'm not good enough yet at content creation where I can do this video justice. So instead, I decided to start with Dexter content. I started with how I actually wanted Dexter Resurrection to start. That's my first ever video on my channel. And then I realized, okay, this worked. I didn't expect anything. The first 2 days it had like 30 views, and then it popped to like 600 views. And that was like, even now, that's pretty big. Like, that was huge to me at the time as a creator with no support. I had just started.
I know how you feel, man. I've been doing this for actually 2.5 years, and
Mhm.
it was 5 days ago. I logged on to my insights, and for the first time ever, I had more than 30 downloads in a day, and it was
Congratulations.
855.
That's fucking great, man.
And I
Oh,
was
sorry, I don't
like,
mean to curse
"Holy
if we don't
shit."
curse here.
Oh, I've dropped some F-bombs, man. It's
Okay.
explicit. Yeah, we have to be 18 plus to be monetized anyway, apparently. So it's a
Okay.
good thing a couple of my guests started dropping F-bombs, because a
Okay,
lot of
okay.
you early guests were very polite, but you were kind of clean.
I think that was a good place to drop the F-bomb if I was going to drop the F-bomb.
I agree. Yeah, I really, really like your Dexter videos. Like, I've watched a few of them
Mhm.
twice without realizing it until I looked at, like, I went through and I was like, man, like, I've watched that before. And I was like, good, they go down smooth.
The Dexter book videos were the ones that got me.
That's where I started. I literally was like, I haven't read past the second one. And so I was like, I wonder if anybody's talked about the books on YouTube.
Mhm.
And sure enough, there you were. And you had my back. I didn't have to go read all those other books. And I was like, yes. And they're
Mhm.
good videos. Like, I've watched the first two, probably
Mhm.
3 times, just because I get bored and need
Yeah.
something to watch. They're in my download. So I'm like, all right, let's throw it on again.
Thank you. Like, it's the first book video. This, I've never actually said this publicly. You don't know how stressed out I was after that video went live.
I think I do, man, because I did not. So I probably had like 5 podcasts that I just started and deleted without ever releasing it, because I cannot stand doing solo content. I admire you hugely for doing that, because when I go back to edit my own voice without you here doing most of the talking, I would just be like, okay, no, delete. I can't stand it.
Going through solo content and doing this whole thing, it's been incredibly rewarding for me because I've learned editing softwares and stuff now through this. I'm a lot better now than I was when I first started. But when I first made that book video, the first one, at that point, my biggest video had been my Trinity Killer, because they announced a spin-off of the Trinity Killer show, and I was basically saying, why are we doing this? And when I had released the Dexter book video 1, I went from 600 subscribers to 4,000 in like a week or two. And I was like, they want the second one. I have to make the second one good. I don't know what I'm doing. I have more eyes on me now. Like, I'm still learning.
It is. It's a lot of pressure.
It's like they wanted it within a week. So within that 1 week, I had read the entire book like once or one and a half times basically. And I had to edit it. And when I recorded the video, I look back at the playback time, it's over an hour and a half long. So I'm like, okay, I can't put out that's not going to work for me.
I would have watched it.
But yeah. So like I cut that down, and then I was able to, at the same time that I cut that video down, I was like, okay, now I have to put the clips here. I don't have enough clips for this. So rather than just simply, because initially I wanted to put Dexter the game gameplay. I even downloaded it, but it wasn't working. You have to do a bunch of weird shit with zip files. I wasn't going to do it. So then I'm like, it's not working. So I decided to use Hotline Miami gameplay instead, and I feel like that works for the general tone of the video. And book 3 broke me. It was the first time I had ever named a video something different, and it was the first 2 where Dexter is much different in the books, part 1 and 2, right?
Yeah, that part threw me off a little bit. I was looking for part 3 for a
Mhm.
little bit, and then I found it.
I have the playlist on my channel, so I have 6 up now. But 3, it made me so incredibly angry. I just named the video "Dexter and the Dark is Terrible." I couldn't believe my eyes. It was so bad. So if you want to read the Dexter books, be prepared. 3 is terrible. Past that, you're going to be fine.
And see, that's the thing. I was so excited for 3 because the main thing that I was like, when I read the first book, it felt so much like that first season, other than like pretty much the ending.
Yeah.
And so when I read the second one and it was so different, I was like, I don't know how I feel. I was like, it's a pretty good book. And then I heard the Dark Passenger was a demon, and that's revealed in book 3. And I was so gung ho for book 3. And then I seen your video title, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna check his video out instead, because I was gonna stop at your second video and then go read the books and then do
Mhm.
it. But your title convinced me. I was like, all right, I don't care. If it's bad, I'll maybe read it after I've been spoiled. I was like, I don't care. I'm not a big spoiler guy anyway. I still enjoy things when I've been spoiled.
I'm the same way.
And I think the only spoiler that ever actually made me mad was when I found out Han Solo dies in episode 7. But that was only because I was supposed to go see the movie on the 21st. My kid was supposed to be born that day. So I was like, nope, I'm going to sell my tickets to Star Wars. And my partner at the time was like, don't do it. I'm not going to have the baby that day. I know it. I'm like, you don't know that. And sure enough, the baby didn't come. She came on Christmas Day instead. So we had a Christmas baby, and I'm waiting to finally get to see Star Wars. We could come home on New Year's Eve, and we're playing Smash Bros. Of all things. And somebody wrote on the Miiverse in the background, Han Solo dies.
Oh my
And
god.
I've never thrown a controller in my life, but instinctually I tossed it up above my head and hit the ceiling and was like, what the fuck? And my girlfriend was shocked, and I was just like, I'm sorry. That caught me off guard. She's like, are you okay? I'm like, I'm mad, but yeah, it's just a movie spoiler. And like Star Wars was like a huge thing for me. It was like the first movie I really like got attached to. So I was like really pumped for it. But I think that's the only time a spoiler has actually bothered me.
I've had 2. I've had 2 of those occasions.
Ooh, actually, I was annoyed when I found out Robert Downey Jr. was coming back as Doctor Doom.
That's a whole different bag of worms. That's just like, why are you? You could have had such a cool Doctor Doom. But related to that, my first real big spoiler that really pissed me off was actually when Avengers Endgame was coming out. I was in high school at the time, and I was watching I was on, I forget what it was. What's that? It's like an online like kind of chat. Omegle, that's what it's called. That's something we did in high school. We would go on Omegle during class just for fun. And the thing that happened was I go on there and someone types in the chat, Iron Man dies in Endgame.
Oh,
I'm like, this can't possibly be true. I watched the movie that weekend with my mom. I'm sitting there and I see him die. I'm like, son of a bitch. Son of a. And then the second one was my first watch through of Breaking Bad. I watched the first 2 episodes. I look up Breaking Bad Hank because I wanted to know something about him. I don't remember what. Breaking Bad Hank. I look up death scene. Are we serious? Like, I was so angry. I was like, no way did I just get Hank's death spoiled to me. And it's one of the most pivotal episodes of the whole show.
yeah, that Google's dangerous with that, man. When I'm watching a show that's finished, I am so careful not to Google it.
Son of a bitch, I just spoiled Breaking Bad for you. Fuck. I'm sorry.
Don't worry, I forgot it already. It literally, like, I assume, like, oh, never mind if Hank dies. But never mind. For a second, you were safe. My brain totally erased it for a second.
Maybe I shouldn't have just said nothing.
Yeah, no. If you didn't say anything there, it probably would have completely left my brain.
I forget it.
Honestly,
Men in Black.
I'm a little forgetful. I'll probably forget by the time I watch the show, especially because I only vaguely think I know who Hank is. So
Yeah.
if I don't think about it hard enough, it'll probably
Just don't watch it for a few weeks, then pick it up. You'll forget all about this conversation by then.
Hey, I still have to watch The Boys and finish up the
Go for it.
last couple episodes of Invincible.
Go for it.
So hopefully that'll be enough. My last question here before we wrap things up really is have you ever had any really negative experiences with any other fans of TV since you started making content? Any assholes in the comment
Mm,
sections?
I'm trying to think. I think the only one that ever got to me, there were two comments. One of them made me laugh. The other one, it didn't get to me in like a terrible way. Like I wasn't dwelling on it. But it was actually on the second Dexter book video when they told me, they're like, yeah, this video, it's just an awful, terrible video. And I remember how much work I had put into it. And I'm like, that's not nice to hear. I grinded out this video.
Well, it's
Yeah.
not. It is. I loved it. I've watched it, like I said, 3 times now. Honestly, I might might listen to it again later because now I'm like forgetting certain details of it. And
Mhm.
that's the thing is when you don't read the book, that your content like that, I can go back and listen to it 4 times because I'm not reading the book and I'm not ingesting every single thing you say. So not all the details are. Well, I'm listening to everything you say, but I'm
Yeah.
not like memorizing it
And the
all.
other,
So
like,
it's nice like that. And then it gives me something to talk about with my other friends, or and I can be like who like Dexter and be like, hey, I learned this about the books.
mhm.
Here's this video.
Like the other one, the other comment, this is the one that was a bit more funny, but it was definitely meant to be a negative towards me, was they just commented like, stupid AI slop. I'm like, what? I'm like,
oh, they thought your voice was AI.
Like I record everything. I do all the editing myself. If I would love to use AI if I didn't have some integrity, like I would love to just like make my entire screen AI, not record anything. Like
Oh man, you should send them my one episode where, just for shits and giggles, I did the intro in AI and I left it in, even though it's like cringy as hell. I was just like, I'm leaving this one just for shits
yeah,
and giggles. I only did it once because I don't like using AI
no,
stuff.
yeah,
But
it's just like what the fuck are you talking about? Like why are you're telling me I sound like I'm AI? I mean, I don't really know what that means. I don't know if means that I'm perfectly crystal clear positive, or if I don't know.
is he saying you sound robotic? Because I definitely
Yeah, for the
disagree.
record, if that guy's out here, if you're hearing this podcast, I'm not AI. I've never been AI, and if I do become AI, you'll be the first one to notice.
Oh yeah, no, it's pretty noticeable. I was trying to watch this one video. Somebody made a video on something I really wanted to learn
Mhm.
about, and their script was good, but I couldn't make it more than 5 minutes in because you can just tell from like the way the affliction in the voice in
Yep.
certain spots. It's just unnatural, and there's something about it that just gives me like whatever the uncanny valley for the ears is, man. It's like I can't do it.
You know what I think it might have been like for. 'Cause I've been thinking about it. When it comes to my audio editing, takes me longer sometimes than my video editing, because I do this thing where for every single time I'm saying something, I cut out the breath I take in between.
Me too.
So maybe he's just thinking I'm blabbing on for half an hour, but I'm not taking a single breath. It's because I edit out every single breath. I cut out every dead air. Like
I used to cut out every breath too. Now it's like now sometimes when I'm lazy, I'll let some of them slide.
oh
Sorry,
yeah,
people. But like, yeah, no, when you're sitting there listening to it, like I'm audio snob like that.
hmm
And I don't know how to clean audio super well. I'll be the first to admit, but that's why I got editors. Thank you, Jordan, Caleb, Iva, and
shout
Isabel.
out.
You guys are amazing. And yeah, no, it's like you guys have been a godsend because like I would not have had an episode last week if it wasn't for Isabel. So shouting you out here.
Shout out Isabel.
Woo. So yeah, that pretty much brings us to the end here. I've had a lot of fun talking to you, man.
Me
I would
too.
love to have you back again anytime. If
Absolutely.
you ever want to come back and do another topic, you sent me a whole list of things you're a fan of. So
I'm a nerd, man. I'm a nerd.
oh, me too. I'd love to have you back and talk comics or whatever.
Mhm.
And where can everybody find you at, man?
YouTube at SilenceAve. It is SilenceAve, but just to spell it out, SilenceAve. And that's all. That's really all I'm doing at the moment. I've been thinking about making a second channel. If I do, I'll put it in the description of the video. But for right now, I'm hard nose to the grindstone on that channel. And yeah, It's been great being here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. I'm going to link through your 3 favorites of my videos that I've checked out below. I've been keeping track as I went through. So I'll be sure to share all of those with all my listeners. And I hope everyone goes and checks them out. And make sure you leave a comment saying that Fandom sent you.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks a lot for coming on, man. And thank you guys for listening. It's been a blast. And thank you all, because we are finally monetized, and that's all thanks to you deadly listeners. And I hope that this change makes the quality way better and that we can bring you a great show. And I'd also like to finally officially announce 2 new shows coming out. I've got one called Hey Anime, which is going to be where guests come on and recommend an anime, and then I chat about it. You can recommend me the most cringe thing you've ever seen. You could recommend me your favorite show. If you want to torture me, you got to come on and recommend something, though. Just no hentai, please. If you recommend me hentai, I am going to ask you to pick something new. And the other show is Fandoms Face Off. It is a sister show to this, basically, except for instead of just shooting the shit about whatever someone's a fan of, we have 2 guests competing in trivia against each other in whatever they're a fan of. Winner walks away with a t-shirt. Loser gets to come back again and challenge someone else if they want to try and take on the winner. We already have one person challenging someone for a rematch. Episodes should be releasing as soon as the editors are done and the t-shirts are ready to roll out. We'll be selling slightly different versions of the shirts as merch without the I won in episode blank on them that you guys can buy. There will be 3 designs available. And yeah, if you'd like to be a guest and you already have somebody you'd like to compete against in mind, you guys can shoot me a message on any social media and we can start planning. If you yourself are a huge fan of something and think you can kick ass in trivia, but don't have somebody to go against, no worries. Reddit's a big place and I've found other people contestants already. So hit me up at pod.fandoms@gmail.com and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for listening. If you like the show, make sure you follow us and rate 5 stars and share it with all your friends. If you'd like to be a guest, email us at pod.fandoms@gmail.com, or you can message us on Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky, or Reddit. You can also join our Discord to chat with other fans, suggest questions for upcoming episodes, or find out about our new shows dropping soon. If you want to be super deadly, you can join our Patreon as well. Thanks for all your support. See you next time.